Between the years 1991 and 2022, NASA discovered 5,005 exoplanets. The notes and chimes you just heard is a representation of that discovery through audio, through a process known as data sonification. Data sonification is the process of turning an image into sound, and is an excellent way for the visually impaired to be able to interpret the data through sound as opposed to an image or text. I discovered data sonification while listening to a podcast, and I started looking into it, and it really gained my interest due to the whole process of turning an image into sound, from the collecting of the data to converting it to what we hear, and I just found it fascinating. So this will be an exploration of the sounds and the data in which they represent. First, I just want to talk about the background of the sonifications, where I got them from, who's involved and why they're being done. So the project began in 2020 as a response to the COVID pandemic, as much like the rest of the world, they were disrupted from performing in-person activities. And I believe one of the projects which was disrupted was their 3D modelling and printing outreach for the blind and low vision communities. And these sonifications are produced by the Chandra X-Ray Centre, along with System Sounds, and it is led by Dr. Kimberly Arkand, Dr. Matt Russo, and Andrew Santagida. The sonifications themselves are produced from observations of objects at various wavelengths, ranging from radio all the way to X-ray, and the data is taken from the Chandra X-Ray Observatory, Hubble Space Telescope, and the James Webb Space Telescope, as well as a few others. The aim of the sonifications themselves is to create the best scientific representation of the data as possible. When I was listening to it myself, I quickly noted that the sound is recorded in stereo on certain images, and when wearing headphones you can almost feel where the image is, which I think is the intended effect, and it is just astounding how well it works. An excellent representation of this effect is the Whirlpool Galaxy data sonification, which is the first one we're going to be taking a look at. As the sonification progresses, it moves in a clockwise direction around the spiral galaxy itself, and you can hear where the spirals are prominent. As when moving away from the core, the spiral arms increase in pitch, and it allows you to really hear where they are. And we will be taking a look at that now. Located 31 million light years away, the Whirlpool Galaxy is akin to our own galaxy due to its spiral nature. It provides a unique perspective into the structure and makeup of our own galaxy, as we are unable to observe our galactic structure from our position within. The sonification starts at the top of the image and follows a clockwise path. The main sequence begins as a composite of the wavelengths of light observed to make the image, which include X-ray, visible, infrared and ultraviolet light. The data was collected from the Spitzer, Hubble, Gal-X and Chandra telescopes. At wavelengths where the spiral arms are prominent, the pitches increase as the spiral reaches farther from the core, and a constant low hum can be heard, which is due to the bright core itself. The Carina Nebula is located 7,500 light-years from Earth and is host to one of the largest stars discovered, known as Eta Carinae. This star expelled about 10% of its mass during an event known as the Great Eruption, creating a small nebula within its sphere of influence, called the Homunculus Nebula. This small nebula was captured at different wavelengths of light to reveal different aspects of its structure. The sonification begins with data from the Hubble telescope, which is preceded by ultraviolet light data, emission from hydrogen atoms, and finally X-rays from Chandra itself. As previously mentioned, Eta Carinae is located within the Carina Nebula, which itself has its own data sonification. The image translated to sound was captured by the James Webb Space Telescope, and the sonification begins at the left-hand side of the image and scans all the way to the right. The composition is a combination of carefully picked sounds which two musicians had mapped to the data collected. The brighter the light, the louder the sound. This concludes this look and delve into the world of data sonification. This video only contained a small handful of the data sonifications that have been produced by the Chandra X-ray Center and System Sounds. However, I hope this conveys just how incredible and commendable the work they are doing is.